And some, like I say, in some counties in the state of Georgia, the sheriff's office does everything because they don't have a local police department. But in Cobb, like I say, we do. So for right now, I'll give you an example of what we do in Cobb County. So our main responsibility is the jail, court services, evictions, warrant service, civil paper service, and fugitives. And our narcotics unit falls in the sheriff's office as well as fraud. All the county and the fraud, all fraud that happens in the county, not all fraud county, but all county, fraud that happens in the county, that's investigated by the sheriff's office as well. So we don't handle everyday patrol function, meaning 911 calls. That's handled by most of your local police agencies inside the county. Now, if they need assistance or we back them up, we do that on occasions. We do traffic enforcement as needed, and we do work accidents if needed, and then we respond and back up to our local police departments whenever they need any assistance. We will go and help them as well.
How the jail structure looks like? Who will be the chief? And
so each police department,
jail.
Yes, so each police department has its own chief of police, right? However, the sheriff in each county in the state of Georgia is the highest ranking law enforcement official, period. Whether it has a chief of police or not, it doesn't matter. The sheriff in each county in the state of Georgia is that highest ranking law enforcement official in that county. And so the sheriffs, and excuse me, another perspective, so the sheriffs do not work for like the board of commissioners, mayors, city councilmen. The sheriff answers to you, the people, our constituents. You all are our boss. So we don't have the county managers or mayors or things. Not saying it disrespectfully, it's just not how it's set up. But your chief of police and those individuals, that's who their boss is. They have to answer to mayor, county manager, or city manager. That's who they answer to. But the sheriff answers to the people who elected him into office. So that's a big difference. It's an elected position, not an appointed position. In the sheriff's office in the states of Georgia, we're out of 159 counties, the sheriff have jurisdiction throughout the state, not just in this county. I can go outside of this county and do things where your local police agencies cannot. They have to stay within that city limit or within that county limit. Your sheriffs can go statewide. So we have statewide jurisdiction.
So even as a sheriff, but for example, if you are working in others' jurisdiction, so can you work independently or you have to collaborate with that sheriff in that particular county?
The right thing to do is to call that sheriff, let him know you come in his jurisdiction. You don't want to go in there without letting him or her know. So we can do that, but we would never do that. If I'm going down to, let's say, Fulton County, I let Sheriff Abbott know, hey, we working something in your county. This is where we're going to be. So if something happened, you know where we are and what's happening. Or if I'm going down to Bibb County or Augusta, you call that sheriff and let him or her know that you're coming into their county to either serve a warrant, to look for a fugitive, so they know what you're doing as well. It's just a common courtesy that sheriffs do. We can do it, but we do not do it without letting them know we're going down there.
So since this is an elected position, like you said, do all sheriffs who are elected have a background in law enforcement, or can anybody run for office?
Anyone can run for office, as long as you meet the minimum qualifications what the state say you have to have. My preference would be that you would have some law enforcement experience, but we have had some, from my understanding in the past, that did not have any and was fortunate enough to get elected. And then what happens is, if you don't have any experience, then you got to go through a police academy or a sheriff academy to at least get basic mandate. And that's 2 months away from the office. So you got to get elected and you got to then go to school for 2 months. And then you come in with no experience. It has happened before, from my understanding, in some very small counties. Not like Cobb, no big county, but some small county may have like 200 people. Something like that probably could happen, but not in your bigger metro counties. That does not happen normally. Right.
Sheriff, you've been elected by the people.
Yes, sir.
And especially you should have a diverse community in your different communities.
Right.
So do you run anything where Indo-American community is part of your any of the advisory services or citizen advisory groups? What is your encouragement for those kind of
awareness?
Yeah.
Do you run an awareness campaigns with the diverse community?
Diverse. Yeah, so my philosophy is this. I think a sheriff's office, and again, this is my philosophy, should be a reflection of a community it serves. And Cobb County is a very diverse community. So we should have diversity within our sheriff's office because our citizens need to see diversity. We cannot just be all of one kind. So we got to have diverse. So I can honestly tell you is that this sheriff's office, Cobb County, is one of the most diverse sheriff's offices in the metro Atlanta, if not the state of Georgia. Not only about race, but by gender as well. We have over 24% of our females that we have here are in leadership positions. Unheard of. That many women in positions of authority. Unheard of. And not only we, by our gender we're diverse, but going by our race we're diverse as well. So we hire that because I truly believe that our agency have to be a reflection of the community for which we serve. And some races is hard to recruit. I'll be honest. It's hard to recruit Indian or some Muslims. I'll just be honest. And Brazilians. But we have big populations of that in Cobb. So we definitely try, but it's hard to recruit some of those because some of them don't like getting into this profession. But we try to be as diverse as we can. Again, if you look around, this agency that you're here today is probably the most diverse agency in the metro Atlanta, if not the state of Georgia.
You have told a right point on the recruitment, Sherif.
Mm-hmm.
So I recently had a conversation with the other county as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they were expressing that the recruitment has become a challenge. Joining the police officers is become a challenge. So how do you overcome that in your county?
So, and I'm going to knock on wood before I tell you this. We're doing a lot better than everybody else. And that's because we focus I really put a lot of attention. I focus on not only recruitment, but retention as well. And so I speak on recruitment first. You know, when I came in office, well over 100 personnel short. Right now, we have the lowest vacancy rate in Metro Atlanta, around 20 vacancies. You're seeing everybody else around 100, 200, 300 some places. We got one of the lowest vacancy rates in Metro Atlanta area for an agency our size. So I put a lot of money, effort, and time in recruiting. So we didn't only recruit just here locally, we recruited out of state. And put billboards out of state. We sent our recruiters out of state, and we made it a priority to hire diversity and gender diversity as well for out of state. And so we targeted what we was looking for because I wanted to get that diversity in here, and we were successful. We made our recruiting plan kind of simplistic, which means a lot of applicants get turned off by the length of time it takes to go through the process. So we was able to streamline that a little bit to make that time a little shorter and get a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time. Because if we're going out of state, they don't want to go from Georgia back to New York and back to Georgia, back to New York. If we can, make that 1 or 2 trips and get everything done, it made it a lot easier for them to come in and want to be here. And then we increased, we were the first in the state of Georgia right now to have what we call a retention specialist. It does me no good to hire all these people and I'm losing everybody. So we gotta do something on how to be able to retain them. So we got a person that specializes right now in helping us try to retain. Find out first why they want to leave. What can we do to keep them here? Is it something about the leadership, or is it something about we're not doing? Is it an agency we can change? Anything that we can do to be better to make them or want to entice them to stay is what we do. Most times, it's, most people leave because of pay. And Metro Atlanta is very competitive. Some of your bigger agencies like us and Gwinnett, DeKalb, and Fulton, we all got 800, 900, close to 1,000 employees. It's very hard for us to compete sometimes with your smaller, like a Roswell or a Brookhaven, where they have a fourth of what we have in personnel. They can pay more. So whenever they raise theirs 10,000, it's not that easy for us to raise 10,000, because for us to raise all these starting salaries for the sheriff, but if they raise ours in the Cobb, you got to raise the fire department, you got to do the police department. So it's a whole big, rippling effect, and it's a lot of money. And that means I don't have the authority to do that. That has to go through the Cobb County Board of Commissioners. And if they, keep raising prices or our salaries, that means they're going to have to raise taxes. And that's a big thing about raising taxes. So you have to be very conscientious of how they do those things. So that make that competition very hard. When our small agencies raise salaries, we can compete with them because we have double and sometimes triple the amount of people they have, and that salary raising is not that simple for us to do sometimes.
Does your office work with illegal immigration, with ICE to address the illegal immigration?
So yes, So when I took office, our office had a MOU with ICE. I eliminated the MOU, but we still work with ICE. What I mean is, we were not providing them deputies to work with them every day to do the administrative paperwork. As I stated when I came to office, I was 100 plus short, so I could not afford to give them manpower for free, I'll call it. So I removed our deputies, put them back in the jail doing their things, and ICE just did their own administrative paperwork. And we've never stopped doing what the law states. So a lot of people don't understand, there was a state law in place, and it's always still in place, that you should, retain, report any illegal immigrants to ICE, and then they will make a decision whether they're going to hold them, hold/detain, or deport. That's their decision, not ours. We've always complied with that, and we still did. I just stopped giving them, as I like to say, the term free labor. So we still report, we still detain, and we still follow directions of the law per the state law guide.